going on? What is popping, YouTube world? My name is Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice, because that is my nickname. I appreciate you guys for watching this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right about now, as it does help these videos get to the public and my channel to grow overall. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. I do post and Telegram sports videos weekly, and almost every single day if I can. And turn on post notifications too, so you do not miss a single one of those videos that I post. It's only right, you guys. So, I want to talk about Janoris Jenkins today in this video, because he just recently got picked up by the Saints off the streets. The New York Football Giants released him after his beef with someone on social media, calling them a retard. The New York Football Giants, to me, are just a sensitive franchise, and they are stupid to let Janoris Jenkins go after responding to someone on social media. Really, I mean, it's really that bad for the Giants. I mean, the Giants are a mess, guys. But either way, I want to talk about this move and this addition to the Saints, because I don't think the mainstream media is talking about it enough to the degree that it should be talked about, because I think this is one of the moves that can put the Saints over the top. This is one of the moves that can potentially win the Saints a Super Bowl. I know it's crazy. I understand Janoris Jenkins was not great in New York, okay? He was often beaten man coverage this year. He looked lost in zone. And honestly, guys, he just didn't look like he wanted to be on the field. But guys, let's be real. Does anyone really want to play for the New York Football Giants right now that's a veteran player? I mean, let's be real. The Giants are awful. I see a guy that didn't care about the team he was on because he was on a bad team and he wasn't winning. I think Janoris Jenkins is going to be energized by now being on an instant contender in the New Orleans Saints, guys. And quarterback is one of those positions where it helps you if you have better parts around you, okay? When Patrick Peterson was at his best was when he had Antonio Cromartie and another great cornerback beside him in Arizona, okay? Jalen Ramsey was at his best in Jacksonville when the entire defense was clicking. Ever since the entire defense in Jacksonville wasn't clicking, Jalen Ramsey in Jacksonville fell off a cliff and got traded to the Rams. Now all of a sudden, he looks better because he's playing with better players. Cornerback is one of those positions where you need the right scheme and fit, and you need good players around you to fully maximize your potential, okay? Let's think about it this way. If Jalen Ramsey right now were on the New England Patriots, you mean to tell me he's not doing any worse than Stephon Gilmore, who's surrounded by a great coaching staff, a great scheme, and great defensive backs around him, okay? That's just, it's not even close. Jalen Ramsey, I love Stephon Gilmore, but Jalen Ramsey would equally be doing the same things as Stephon Gilmore if he was in New England, okay? This is a huge move for the Saints. The reason why is because we know Marshon Lattimore, their number one cornerback, is a stud. He won Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's easily, to me, a top 10, top 5 cornerback in football right now. Some people even have him in the top 3, and I'm not going to argue and be mad if you say that. Marshon Lattimore is excellent. The problem the Saints had was they had inconsistent cornerbacks beside him, and that being Eli Apple. I like Eli Apple. I think Eli Apple is a solid quarterback, but he's very, very inconsistent. One week he looks really, really good. The very next week you're like, what are you doing, Eli Apple? You're getting beat in man coverage. You're not focused. Bad penalties. Eli Apple's not a sure thing. We clearly saw this year in the San Francisco 49ers game when the Saints lost to them at home. They targeted Eli Apple one-on-one 24/7. Eli Apple was the weak link of the Saints in that game. He's one of the weak links of that Saints team. So the Saints, they needed another quarterback to help out Marshon Lattimore, to get off the field. I think that now that Eli Apple is probably going to move to the number 3 or potentially be the number 2 corner and have more help with Janoris Jenkins on the field, this Saints defense could be really, really special. They now have 3 legitimate starting cornerbacks, you know? And it's one of those things in football, they say you can never get enough good defensive backs. That's true. It's just like in baseball. You can never get enough good pitching. In today's NFL, with these air raid offenses, with these quarterbacks bombing the balls down the field, with the rules tailored to offense, you can never have enough good defensive backs. On the Saints, they now got 3 legitimate cover corners, guys, that can play zone coverage, man coverage, that are really good. And I believe the Saints went to the drawing board in that San Francisco 49ers game, which they lost at home, and said, hey, we lost 48 to 46. If you would have told me heading into that game, by the way, I picked the 49ers to win that game, but I thought it was going to be a defensive shootout. If you had told me that Drew Brees was going to throw 5 touchdown passes on the 49ers defense, if you would have told me that the Saints were going to score 46 points on the 49ers at home, I would have thought to myself, that's going to be a blowout. But they lost. They lost. They gave up 48 points to Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers offense. And I actually like Jimmy G. I kept telling people, Jimmy G's, you can say he's a weak link of that team, but Jimmy G's a good weak link. Jimmy G's a winner. Jimmy G's a really, really good starting quarterback, okay? And the 49ers, they were a top 2 scoring offense heading into that game. However, giving up 48 points at home to the 49ers, that's inexcusable in a big game like that. And I believe that if they had Jackrabbit, if they had Janoris Jenkins in that game, that he would have made about 1 or 2 more plays that could have potentially won them the game. He could have potentially made another play that made he could have potentially covered a wide receiver, I should say, that would have made the quarterback hold the ball an extra second. Janoris Jenkins could have made a play or two in that game that could have helped the Saints win that game, and they just didn't have a guy of that caliber to make plays. And when we look at the NFC is loaded, guys. It's loaded. In order to win a Super Bowl, in order to get out of the NFC, the Saints are going to have to go through Jimmy G and that 49ers offense, who they already proved they cannot stop, even at full strength, okay? We know they got to go through Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. We know they got to go through Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. We know they got to potentially go through Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, and Kirk Cousins, who's looking like an MVP candidate, okay? They have to go through those 4 teams to get to a Super Bowl. You need good cover corners. You need a good secondary to limit these elite quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, like Russell Wilson, like Kirk Cousins, who's playing well, like Jimmy G in that passing attack with George Kittle, Emmanuel Sanders, Deebo Samuel. The 49ers have weapons for days. And even if the Saints were to get out of the NFC, this is going to help them in a Super Bowl, because I believe either the Ravens or the Chiefs are going to make the Super Bowl. And let's say Tom Brady decides to be Undertaker and just rise from the dead. Let's say Tom Brady gets to the Super Bowl. He's a good quarterback still. I know Tom Brady, in my opinion, is washed, but he's still a really, really good starting quarterback, okay? In order to beat the Ravens, the way to beat the Ravens is to sell out and stop the run and to blitz them. I don't think playing zone coverage and just sitting back and trying to play it safe with the Ravens is going to get you beating them, okay? I don't think that's going to happen. So I think the Saints, if they were to face the Ravens in the Super Bowl, they're going to need to be aggressive. They're going to need to blitz a lot. So what does that mean? Their quarterbacks are going to have to be left on islands. Now you have 3 guys that can be left on an island that I to some degree trust. And if you potentially see the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes, with Mecole Hardman, with Travis Kelce, with Tyreek Hill, the fastest player in the NFL arguably, with Robinson, with Watkins, it probably would help to have an extra defensive back. I'm just saying. So now the Saints, their defense was already very good. They have Cameron Jordan. They have 4 first-round picks on that defensive line. DeMario Davis is a very good linebacker. Marshawn Lattimore is a great quarterback. Marcus Williams is a great safety. They needed 1 more quarterback to really solidify their defense. I think they got it with Janoris Jenkins. Guys, look, I know the Saints lost to the Rams. I know they lost to the Falcons. They got blown out by the Falcons. I know they lost to Jimmy G at home. But guys, the Saints, they're peaking at the right time. And this move was huge for the Saints. Because I do believe that if the Saints see the 49ers again, they can beat them again. I believe even in San Francisco, the 49ers can be had. I trust Drew Brees in a playoff game more than I trust Jimmy G. I like Jimmy G. I actually like Jimmy G. I'm not down on Jimmy G. But come on. Do I trust Jimmy G over Drew Brees in a playoff game? No, I don't. And I believe the Saints can go on the road and beat San Francisco in a playoff game, okay? However, if I'm the Saints, I don't want to go play Green Bay or Seattle on the road. And by the way, it kind of looks like that's going to be the case because the Packers have home field advantage over the Saints right now. The Seattle Seahawks have home field advantage over the Saints right now. I actually do believe the Titans are going to beat the Saints this week just because I think the Titans are coming off an emotional loss to the Texans. I think they're going to come back this week and play well at home. And the Saints, they played their most complete game all year versus the Colts at home on a Monday Night Football game. 1 less day to prepare. Usually teams that play a really good game, their best game of the season, they emotionally let down the next week. I think they're going to go into uncharted territory and lose to the Titans. However, come playoff time, I can see a scenario. I won't bet on it, but I can see a scenario where the Saints with this addition of Janoris Jenkins, they can go on the road and beat Aaron Rodgers. They can go on the road and beat Russell Wilson if they have to. They can go on the road and beat Jimmy G. The Saints are built to go on the road and beat these teams. They have Alvin Kamara. They got Drew Brees. Guys, people forget the Saints went 5-0 without a Hall of Fame quarterback, Drew Brees. Okay? They beat Russell Wilson without Drew Brees. They beat the Dallas Cowboys without Drew Brees. This Saints team is loaded. And they identified their weakness and they fixed it. I believe Janoris Jenkins is going to be a huge X factor for the Saints defense, especially down the stretch. Because, like I said, you could never have enough defensive backs. And the Saints clearly saw in the game of their season versus the 49ers at home, they could not stop the 49ers offense. They gave up 48 points to the 49ers offense. Now, I think this move can potentially put them over the top. Will I bet on them to win the Super Bowl? I would not be shocked if they win the Super Bowl. However, I don't quite think they're going to win the Super Bowl just because I don't think they're going to get home field advantage. If the Saints get home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs, you almost can pencil them in to win the Super Bowl, okay? Because I think Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson are talented enough to go into New Orleans and win a game. However, I don't know if their team is good enough to do it. So that's my thing with the Saints. I think this Janoris Jenkins move is going to be a huge move for them. They now have 3 very quality defensive backs that are going to be able to cover people that identify their weakness. And I believe if they face the 49ers again in the playoffs, I'm probably going to pick the Saints. So again, it's not a flashy move. It's not a great move. It's not a big-time free agent acquisition, but it's a really nice picker for the Saints. And I believe the Saints, if they can win out, they can potentially get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And if the Saints get home field throughout the playoffs, they virtually may be locks to win the Super Bowl. Be sure to comment where you agree with me and disagree with me. Love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. A fun fact about me is I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world. I want to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. Kind of like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. You get the point. Okay, I want to do sports, television, and radio for a full living once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. So the best thing you guys can do to just help me continue to grow as a young broadcaster is to just share this channel with all your friends, because potentially if this channel really gets somewhere, I want to start my own network, okay? You know, or potentially if it doesn't, you know, or if I fall a little bit short, I want to go into a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. So the best thing you guys can do to just flat out just help me grow as a broadcaster, help me learn, you know, get other people hip to this channel, you know, just share this channel with all your friends, share this channel on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. And once again, guys, just share this channel with everyone you know. Get everyone hipped and watching these videos. Get my voice out there and heard. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. It's been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in today. I really do. Have a God blessed day. Stay motivated, you guys, and I'm out.